Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Having Fun Repairs. This is Sean. Today we're going to discuss HVAC maintenance. Okay. So, what do I mean by HVAC maintenance? Well, we're going to basically look at two things, our outside unit and our inside unit. In this video on the outside unit, we'll have a discussion about checking caps, cleaning the unit, including the radiator and the fins, and cleaning the inside of the unit. Now, I might mention our refrigerant lines, but I do not have the equipment nor the experience on how to purge them or test them or anything of that nature. Outside of maybe if there is a leak, you can use a leak like from a pinhole. You could use a infrared camera or whatever to figure out where those leaks are at. It's neither here nor there. So we will look at our condensing unit. We're also going to look at the inside unit, what will be inside your house. We'll talk about the evaporator coil and cleaning it. We'll check the furnace and a few components on it that should be tested, as well as replacing the filters that they vent. Now, I might make mention of the thermostat, but everybody should know what that is at this point, so I won't dwell much on it. And then lastly, we're going to test the unit to make sure that at the vents inside the house, as we're circulating air with the HVAC on, that you can see that the air is cold. And there might be multiple ways for you to do it. Obviously, I'm going to use specific equipment in my video. But barring if you have the equipment yourself, you can use this video as a kind of how-to. That being said, if you are following along on this video, please understand that you are doing so at your own risk. Always keep safety in mind. You are near dangerous voltages, and make sure that you remove from your hands and other things, watches, rings, and jewelry, all that kind of stuff. That being said, let's go look at the outside unit, which is our condensing unit, and start our maintenance there. For starters, the thing you need to do is locate your AC panel circuit breaker. The first thing I'm going to do is turn that circuit breaker off. Alright, with that off, I'm now going to remove the top cover of this, and we're going to check some things over here with the multimeter and clean out the inside. And with the AC removed from the circuit breaker, the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and remove this side panel. And using my multimeter, I'm going to come across the line right here and just make sure that we do not have AC coming in. We see it's fully killed. I can check the other side. I shouldn't have anything there either, which is good. Also, just come through and briefly touch the contacts on top of this dual capacitors in here, just making sure that nothing's stored on the cap. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to check this was this totaline capacitor. You see the part number for mine right there, P298074R. This is a dual cap, electrolytic cap. I guess the way you can put it, I don't know. But yeah, there are two capacitors inside this capacitor can, essentially. Now, take note of where your leads went. Mine was yellow on this side, blue over on this side, brown in the back. Okay, yellow from this leads to this fuse / relay, whatever this terminal board is here. I believe that's a relay. We also got another relay sitting up there. Those could be two failure points. We'll be cleaning up those terminals, but I'm going to check, verify the capacitance. We see that we have a 80 microfarad cap and a 7.5 microfarad cap. Both of those should be plus or minus 5%. So we got a little swing there that we can look at. Let's see. First one's going to be 80. I'll set this to diode. I hit that special function key that puts it into a microfarad reading, or the ability to read capacitance. And I'm going across those two terminals. We see we got 76.1
Now I need to come across the other terminal, this one up here, and where the yellow was at. So we're now brown and yellow, and we got a reading of 7.33. So what is that going to be as far as tolerance? Of a nominal value of 80 microfarad. If we are 5%, that means at the lower end we should be seeing, we can have 76, and on the higher end 84. Of course, the value I'm getting is 76.1, so we're towards that lower end and outside of that 5% tolerance. I'm probably going to go ahead and replace this cap, get one on order and get it replaced. Now I need to check the do the percentage of the other lead, and at 7.5, again I'm getting a reading of 7.33. That is well within tolerance, and we could call that one good. But like I said, the other one is right there at the lower end of our tolerance. I will be replacing that one. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come around. Now, some people just remove the fan. I do not. I do not want any imbalance in the fan, so I have removed the top cover, and I'm propping it up. Get yourself a partner. I've got my wife. We're going to come in and clean out all this on the inside. Just look at our wire connections really good, make sure nothing is over corroded, and then we're going to wash out these fins, these radiator fins, make sure that there's no dirt or debris stuck in them. They make a little tool in case somebody's come through and kicked them shut to straighten back out the fins. You don't want them pushed in. You know, a lot of kids like to come by and push on them, but they do make a tool that will fan them back out. Ultimately, what you're doing is you're coming in here doing an inspection and cleaning out all this dirt and debris. Now that I've got pretty much all the cleaning I want to do done, I've got this put back together. I'm going to leave the AC breaker off for now, and we're going to head inside and look at a few things in there too. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to mess with the inside unit, your air handler side. What's pulling air through your house through filters, then as it's going through the system, being chilled by these radiators down here, and cold air dispersed through the house. I've already taken the panels off of mine. Now, sometimes a lot of your air handlers will have you know, a little panel like this, that there will be a filter in between from where it's sucking air from an opening and then pulling it through here. Then you should get cleaned out, these radiator fins cleaned out at least annually. They make some cleaner. I would suggest doing it in around springtime frame when you're not using your AC. Get in, spray them down, let them drip dry, okay? Because if you have them wet while the AC is running, obviously they're going to freeze up, and that's going to cause you some issues. All right, now in my unit, I have filters right below here in the hallway. And then on the opposite side of the air handler unit is the closet, my bedroom. There's a filter over on that side that I'll need to change. So the name of the game in this go around is cleaning filters, radiator. Now, there are some things that we will typically check as well. Barring your setup, you might have a little box over here that allows you to lift up, and then you'll have a little disconnect. Let me zoom in a bit. A little device that you'll pull out here to disconnect from power. And then I've got a second one that allows me to remove AC. However, whoever did this install wasn't really thinking their way through, so this lid gets in contacts our ducting over here, and so I can't lift it up enough to pull out the device. So basically what I'm going to do, since I am actually live with power, is I turned the fan off and everything on the inside, so I'm not running the risk of the fan just turning on all by itself. And then I'm just going to come through here. There are some things that you will check on this side as well. Hey, first off, these devices here in the back. Let's see, can I zoom in on one? What do we have? Yeah, that's pretty close. Part number right there. Let's look it up. Yeah, there you go. Thermo coupler, thermo switch, limit switch, thermo switch, whatever you want to call them. About 47 bucks each. HVAC designed for precision and vital for safety of furnace, heat pump, air handler, and central AC. So yeah. It's a good thing to check these as well, just in case if you need to replace them. That can be included in as part of your maintenance. Okay, yeah, our thermo switches. Okay, so this is going to deal with the heating element side of things. And these guys should not be tripped. Under normal conditions, I'm seeing 120 on one side, 120, or excuse me, there we go, 120 on the other side. Now, if these devices were tripped, if I was to go across the two, because the power would not be allowed through, I would see a voltage, i.e. meaning if I was to take my lead off of this poor ground right here, and let's see if I can do this without making an issue for myself. Let me get my leads set up, and I'm just going to go across. You see how I have 0 right now? If it is tripped while I'm across there, I would be able to see an AC voltage across it. I'm going to check all 3 of those. They should all be 0. And if they're good, we are good to go. It is, I think it's recommended to replace these roughly every 5 years. The capacitor outside, probably another 5 to 10 years. I think this house we live in was built in around 2019. So it makes sense that the outdoor cap is that microfarad rating, 80 microfarad being a bit low. Yeah, I can see that going bad. But yeah, after checking these things, now mind, this is not on an all-inclusive list. This is just some things that you can do. And probably should do to save yourself from bigger bills down the road. But between the thermal switches in here, the capacitor out there, cleaning the outside and cleaning the fins inside, including replacing your filters, these are just some things that you can do that is typical HVAC heater type maintenance that would probably cost you an arm and leg that you can do yourself. Okay, not saying that this is the perfect 100% way to do everything, but these are the things that I do annually to save myself on money, so I'm not having to pay somebody to come out and fix my HVAC. I am going to, after I clean everything up, button everything back up, turn back on the system to run for a little bit here inside my house, and just make sure that the fan outside is not wobbling, everything was seated correctly. And if I cleaned out the fan in here, I'd make sure that the bearing was free to spin, which it's, it's moving freely and I don't hear any ruckus. All this seems to be in good working order. Okay, in the event you need to see how a filter is put in, take note that it does have an arrow that indicates airflow. Airflow would be in, up through the coils. I've got everything buttoned back up for a second. And if you're not, hard for me to work things like this one-handed. There we go. And it goes. We got one side done. And like I said, my other one is opposite inside my closet. Really weird place for it to be, but we're swapping out that filter as well. And like I said, concerning testing, got the AC running right now. Seems this fan is pretty still. I'm gonna go inside and measure how cool it is pushing air out the vents. And what I'm doing is I'm just using my thermo camera by Klein Tools, and I'm just coming up to a vent, and we can see that the air that's pushing out is around the coldest point around 40 something degrees, between 40 and 50. There we go. Super cool air. That's gonna work. And you could do the same thing with the heater. Switch it over to heater, turn it on, see if you got hot air coming out. But this is good. I know it's working. I've got confidence. And like I said, the main things I would look at: capacitor, get them replaced every 5 to 10 years. Check those thermo couplers. They probably should be on a replacement when failed. You did see some capacitors on that main board outside that big dual cap. electrolytics that might need to be replaced off the power supply board every handful of years or so. And then, as I mentioned, relays are a failure, prone to fail. That's something to look at replacing too. But as far as maintenance goes, cleaning outside and inside, checking the capacitor, checking those thermocouplers, replacing the filters, and then verifying that you can push cold air and heat. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, please hang around for a lot more other content. You're already here, you might as well subscribe, turn on that bell icon, etc. Let me know if this video helped you, and if you weren't aware, I do have super chats enabled, so if this content does help you, help reduce your maintenance bill, whatever you're doing to keep your HVAC going, let me know in the comments and consider giving a super thanks. All that being said, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye. Bart?